Welcome to the process. It is Wednesday, November 17th. I am Josh Engelman, and I'm here to break down an 11-game NBA slate. But before we do any of that, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Whoo boy, yesterday's slate stunk. That was just a steaming pile. Oh my. Fun game to watch for Brooklyn and Golden State. Ultimately, two studs bust, and there's not a ton of interesting stuff coming out of Brooklyn and Golden State. I got my lineup set for 10 o'clock. Figured, okay, that's good. We'll just wake up, see where we end up. And the Utah Jazz beat the brakes off of the Philadelphia 76ers. That was my most exposed game. Totally useless to me. Chalk Spencer Dinwiddie goes crazy on Monday. I don't have it. Chalk Tobias Harris on FanDuel does not, and I have all of it. 2 50-50 outcomes, and I'm on the wrong side of both coin flips. It's pretty annoying. Bluegrass Jeff, congratulations. That's awesome. Well, congratulations to your wife, at least. $5 single entry. Oh wait, I saw that screenshot in Discord. I knew that looked familiar. At least I think I saw that on Discord. Well, good for her. Give her the old congratulations. I am moving at a snail's pace today. I have no energy in my brain. I don't know what it is. I think it's probably just the early wake-ups. Being out on vacay from Wednesday to Sunday and waking up at, 7:30, 8, 8:30, 9 even on one day. Very different than waking up at the 5:15 mark. I think it's kicking my butt. Luckily today, I think I can snag myself the old napper today, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We got too much to talk about. Let's see. Do we have anything else we want to touch on for yesterday? I don't even want to break it down. There's basically one good play. DeJounte Murray was really good. Curry was fine. The winning lineups, I think, had multiple 19s in it, at least on FanDuel. Now I just want to look at it again. Winning lineup on FanDuel yesterday. Nope, that's 2 days ago. Nah, it's got to be this one. Those numbers are really low. Winning lineup. 335 fantasy points. You needed Curry and Murray, obviously, that went for 50 plus, and Gobert, but 19 points from Royce O'Neal and 19 points from Joe Ingles. Incredible. Incredible. It's so bad. It's so bad. What a way to wake up. I woke up. I had no idea what had happened. I opened up the score app, so I wanted to look at just the box score. And I saw that it was 120-85 Jazz Sixers. I think that's what it was. Something in that neighborhood. And I was like, oh, that can't be good. Then saw that, Tobias Harris took 9 shots. I immediately just shut it. I knew that there was no money coming back for me. So now it is time to do the same thing that we do every single morning. I've got my coffee. I desperately want to drink every single ounce that is in my hand right now. So if you've got yours, waters, coffees, teas, whatever you're doing to start off your day. Let's all do that together. Rise and grind, everybody. Cheers. That right there is fantastic. I love seeing the coffee cups in chat. I love seeing everybody in chat. Let's move forward. James, good morning. Ronald, good morning. Everybody, good morning. Across the board. Now, before we actually do get started, it's time to talk a little bit about the presenting sponsor of this video. That would be PrizePicks. Use the promo code Awesemo when you sign up at PrizePicks. You'll get a 100% instant match deposit bonus of up to $100. We have a ton of tools on the website that can help you out at PrizePicks, including all of our player props. That's what you're looking for at PrizePicks, plus our projections. It's all there for you at awesemo.com, and you get that extra $100 on that $100 deposit. You know, if you only have 50, they'll match with 50. That's fine. It's a great way to start building a bankroll. Take advantage of deposit bonuses. It might not feel great at first, but don't leave free money on the table. If you can do it, do it. What up, PrizePicks? All right, let's get some tunage on in the background. I gotta wake up at some point in time. I should have just morning, Josh. You need to do something about them bags. Awesemo showing your age. Yeah, it's just one of those days today, man. I feel it. I feel slow. But look, we'll get ourselves started. Yesterday was kind of a crappy day too. That's neither here nor there. We'll get it going. I'll go to the gym later, work it out. We'll feel good. We'll be back tomorrow for the 6-gamer. We're gonna mess that bad boy up. 6-game slates. That's my wheelhouse. Alrighty. First game up, Washington and Charlotte. The Wizards are 2.5-point underdogs in Charlotte, 214.5 total. I'm guessing we got a Q tag. Nope, Bradley Beal's just in. Well, that's fun. Beal in. And that's it, I guess. Still no Bertans, still no Thomas Bryant, still no Rui. Well, this is all pretty easy from a fixed perspective, so we'll go ahead and cut down Aaron Holiday's minutes. He's not going to be playing the same sort of minutes he was playing before. Going to leave Dinwiddie in at 31. We're going to take everybody else's minutes away just to make this a little bit easier. So 24-24 split on Montrezl Harrell and Daniel Gafford. I don't really know what else I would do at this point, so I think I'm going to leave it like that. What did they do to Daniel Gafford's price on FanDuel? Maybe I need to go 23-25. We're about to find out that Daniel Gafford's price is really fun. I'm going to go 33 on Kyle Kuzma. We're clearly going to 35 minutes on Bradley Beal. I mean, he's Bradley Beal. That's just sort of like what he does. Corey Kispert has just been in the rotation playing like 14 minutes a game, so that sounds pretty good. As has Aaron Holiday. So let's give Kispert those 14 minutes. We'll get KCP his standard issue 30. That leaves me 18 for Denny. Is that too little? It's probably too little. But he bounces around between mid-20s and 16. But I think I need to give him more minutes. I mean, even just this stretch of 3, why is that any different? I need to get him a little bit more time. So let's take... I'm going to take Kispert down to 12. I'm going to take Aaron Holiday down to 12. What happens if I get Denny to 22? Okay, nothing too crazy. So everything here should be fine. We just need to make our rate tweaks to get back to where we stand with Beal in. And that should be a pretty quick fix. Oh, I'm getting tired of the sound of my own voice. I can't imagine how much you guys hate it. I need I should have went and got breakfast this morning. That's probably my first mistake. The lack of Starbucks egg bites in my life today is kind of sad. Those things are the greatest things in the world for breakfast. And I just have a desperate craving of them right now. All right, Bradley Beal's usage rate this year, 32.7. Just going to leave him in for basically his normal. Spencer Dinwiddie, 24. Leave that in as his normal. The guy that we need to worry about most is probably Kuzma. Usage rate, 20.7 this year. So maybe I don't have to worry about it. Seems to be standard issue. Dinwiddie's rates all look good. Kuzma's rates look good. Daniel Gafford's rates look fine. I don't think we have to change anything. Oh, man. I got to stretch. Hold on. Oh, that feels good. See, normally, you guys don't know this. Here, behind the scenes. Oh, John, you know what's what. Bacon Gruyere, man. Incredible. Normally, as I click the start streaming button on the back end, I stand up and stretch. And I forgot to do that today. And I can feel it in my legs getting super stiff. All right. There's not a lot here for Washington. Let's move it on to Charlotte. We're already 13 minutes in and I'm on the first team. We got 21 more to go. So if you're interested in sticking around for the next hour and a half, get ready. We're going to be here for a while. Probably should suck down more coffee. Appreciate you, bot nuts. Yeah, I'm having trouble getting out of first gear today. All right, what do we know? What do we know with Charlotte today? Charlotte. Gordon Hayward in, PJ Washington out. Nothing newsworthy there. Appreciate having you here, bot nuts. Hopefully you're right, Izzy. Hopefully that turns this into a big night. All right, we got 27 minutes in for Mason Plumlee, 16 minutes in for Nick Richards. That is not what happened in the last game. So Nick Richards was out of the rotation. That was a straight DNP CD, I assume, on Sunday. Well, who'd they play? Let's start there. So that's Tuesday, Monday, Sunday. All right, so they played Golden State. Could understand not wanting to go to Nick Richards in that case. But they won. And I guess they were just going to Jalen McDaniels at the 5. Bluegrass Jeff, it was good, man. We talked for a long time. It was a fun time. I was happy to do it. I assume that I'll end up doing that again at some point in time. I hope so. I hope he enjoyed it as much as I did. But it was fun. Fun to chat. Fun to just riff for a bit. Should I just be leaving Nick Richards out of the rotation? I think that's an important piece of information. And we're just going to treat his DNP CD like... I mean, here's the real problem. He had played 5 straight games in PJ Washington's stead. I think they're just going to go to Jalen McDaniels now. I mean, it's sort of a pattern for Charlotte. I don't know how much I trust it, but I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to leave Mason Plumlee at 27 minutes. I see no reason that Jalen McDaniels can't play 21. I leave Miles Bridges in for his 36. We've got Gordon Hayward in for what should probably also be 36. I'm going to go to 35 just to make it a little bit easier. What's their actual average there? Yeah, 35. That's fine. Yeah, look at that. 130% under the field on Brooklyn Golden State last night, which was great coming out of that game. Massively over on Utah Philly, and that game was the worst one of the 3. What a bad beat. I mean, not like a real bad beat, but you guys know what I mean. All right, Terry Rozier, 32 minutes. That's set in stone. LaMelo minutes trending up a little bit. I got him in for 34. I think that's probably still fine. Kelly Oubre only played 16. They went back to Cody Martin for this particular spot. I think having it as a little bit more to Kelly Oubre still makes sense to me. So we got 26 for Oubre, 24 for Cody Martin. I'm just going to spill over with Ish Smith and call it. So we're going to leave Nick Richards out of there for now. Rates should all be the same. I don't really have anything that I think we need to change here for Charlotte. Miles Bridges is in at 23. That's fine. Mason Plumlee down to 12. Mason Plumlee rebound rate is 8.5. That's pretty bad. Let's at least bump that down a little bit. LaMelo usage rate only 26. Let's bring that down. Rebounding rate is 8. I think I could probably cut most of what I see. Terry Rozier, assist rate. Yeah, that needs to go down. All right. Well, we're definitely going to like Charlotte more than we like Washington on FanDuel at the very least. Wow, one game in, 18 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and try to pick up the pace. So on the Washington side, I don't really think that anything looks good. I have no recommendations for Washington. On Charlotte, LaMelo Ball is 9K on FanDuel, and for reasons that don't make any sense to me, 10,700 on DraftKings. Clearly a much better play on FanDuel. Mason Plumlee, 4,800 on both sites. I think that's a pretty good price for someone that's going to play 27, 28 minutes, something like that. So nice value option for center. Yeah, I am on that Kyle Anderson pace today. That's a good point. Miles Bridges, I think, looks pretty good across both sites. That's really what we're looking at. Charlotte, much more in play than we're seeing for Washington. More coffee, more coffee, more coffee. 106 viewers, 56 likes. We got that really nice 50-50 split going on. I love seeing people just pop in, though, an hour from now. Still growing. That's always good. Indiana at Detroit. Pacers, 6-point favorites at the Pistons. What do we know? Q tag on Chris Duarte. Let's see if we know anything about what's actually happening with Duarte. His ankle, right? Oh, shoulder. Okay. I think we have to assume that Chris Duarte is just going to be back in. And then on the Detroit side, everybody but Olynyk. Okay, so that works. Well, let's get Chris Duarte back in, and we'll start by just deleting this entire rotation. Other than Brogdon staying there at the first spot. Okay, so Brogdon is just playing 36 minutes a game. Done. That's a change that has to be made. Miles Turner at 30 seems right to me. Actually, maybe Miles Turner at 31. Sabonis. Goga played 16 minutes with Duarte out. I'm just going to assume that I don't need him quite yet. We're going to go 36 minutes to... You know what? I'm not going to go 36 minutes to Sabonis. I think I'm going to go 35. I think that softens the blow a bit. Because he hasn't been playing the same sort of big minutes as usual. If you like this video, you'll have a big night in DFS. Hold on, let me pull up my phone. I want to like my own video so that I could have a big night in DFS. I can hear it. You hear it? Boom. Liked. I got the like in, which means I'm going to have a big night in DFS, which means we're going to clip this audio in the future and run it tomorrow because Botnuts brought it, he spoke it into existence. I appreciate it. All right, let's get TJ McConnell in for his standard issue 24 minutes. We've got to give Chris Duarte his playing time. He had been playing about 30. I'm going to go 29 on Duarte. Rest of the minutes at the 4. So they've been really nerfing Torrey Craig as of late. I'm just going to say it's 12 minutes for Craig. Justin Holiday gets like 28. And we get LeVert in for... it seems like 30 for LeVert is safe. That leaves me 15. I assume that's got to go to Keelan Martin. Done. Indy in. Rates don't need to change. Those are all good from the last time. So next up, we have their opponent, the Pistons. Probably not much to change here. I'm starting to wake up. I'm starting to hear my voice. There we go. I actually turned the mute off unlike yesterday. Yeah, probably not much to worry about here for Detroit. This should be pretty simple. Other than they're awful and tough to project. The key piece is, look, on a day like today, the key piece is just making sure you get the starters correct. So Sadiq Bey, I've got in for 33 minutes. I think that's what he'll play if this game is competitive. Jeremy Grant, I have in for 35 minutes. I think I'm going to go to 32. I think that's what he'll play if the game is competitive. Cade, I got in for 32. Cade Cunningham has played 31 and a half minutes, but up to 33, 34. So I'm going to go to 33 on Cade. I think that's something that I need to start doing, being a little bit more aggressive with my minutes at the top end. Dave, I don't think you're going to be right. I mean, clearly they can win this game, but they're not turning around anything. Josh Jackson, 23. Yeah, like that I don't feel comfortable with. Isaiah Stewart, 29. I think that's got to go to 28. Luke Garza just getting time twice, but this whole team's weird, man. Saban Lee played. I didn't even know he was up. I don't really have anything else I want to change here because the only guys that I think are viable to actually play are the only ones that are going to get enough minutes here. Killian Hayes is like, sure. Sadiq Bey, Isaiah Stewart, Cade Cunningham, Jeremy Grant. We're not really playing anybody else, so I don't really care what the rest of their rotation looks like. Gambit. LaMelo looks great on FanDuel. Let's look at Indiana. Yeah, as per usual, not much here. I think Miles Turner for 6,800 on DraftKings will work, but we're not going to have a limit to the amount of guys we want to play at center. And then, maybe a little bit of LeVert for 6,800 on FanDuel. Nothing too crazy. On Detroit, Cade, 5,800 on FanDuel. He's going to be very popular. 6,100 on DraftKings, also going to be very popular. Jeremy Grant, 7,100 on DraftKings, I think is a pretty nice price. Sadiq Bey looks fine. Isaiah Stewart, 5,100 and 5,200, fine across both spots. Can I update this quickly? I might be able to. Do I have game number? Can I add that quickly? Oh, I definitely can. Time comes from schedule, right? Nice. All right, I'm going to keep a running list of our boom rating so everybody can get a better idea. It's a pivot table I haven't built yet, but I probably should. So we need... What is this? What's it called? Rank? Rank. Got it. Back to depth chart. You guys don't care about what I'm saying right now. That much I know. But you'll be happy with what I'm doing. Bang. Now, we can look at pivot tables of everything we've done so far. So what we're going to do is add game number to both of these tables. And now, since we're through 2 games, we can look and see who the best plays are across both sites. So this is sorted by boom through the first 2 games. We're looking at LaMelo at the top of the heap on FanDuel, Cade Cunningham, Mason Plumlee, Cunningham, Bridges, Grant, Plumlee, Miles Turner on DK. This should make it a little bit easier for us to follow here. I guess I should add my DK projection. We don't have anywhere to be, right, everybody? Let's get this done now while we're here. That way, everything that we're doing is worth it. Because I think having a little bit of a summary information will be good for people to see. Where's my DK target? DK target. So now everybody will be able to just see what we want to see. Bang. There we go. Look at that. Yeah, I think that'll be helpful, Gambit. Ooh. Yo, 135 viewers, 97 likes. We're going to hit that mark by 7 a.m. I like it. I like it a lot. So there we go. This is going to be like a nice running tracker. Don't necessarily think that like it's in order, but it's pretty close to being in order. Did I see Adam's haircut? I did indeed. All right, let's keep this one moving now. On to Boston at Atlanta. 100 likes. You guys are the best. Barely had to ask for it, too. Love this crowd. Love this crowd. All right, for the Celtics, still no Jaylen Brown. Robert Williams questionable, which I'm not going to lie, I'd be stoked about. Oh, itchy nose. Starting to get into that dry season. On the Atlanta side, Q-tag on Bogdanovich and Herter. No DeAndre Hunter, no Onyeka Okongwu. That one's going to be tough. I really hope Robert Williams doesn't play. I hope he's not like critically injured, but that would really open up Boston. Left early, didn't return in the last one. That was Monday. I mean, it's not like we could... I have no choice. I mean, you got to project him in. Robert Williams has been playing 30 minutes a game, so I can't really say anything else there. So I think this rotation is pretty much just what I expect it to be, other than trying to figure out how many minutes Josh Richardson plays. But I don't know what else I would change here. As long as Robert Williams is in, I mean, this is going to be like a standard issue rotation for Boston. Change it when we get more info. On to Atlanta. So, for those that are just listening audio-wise, I'm going with the exact same rotation I had for Boston on Monday, barring any news. For Atlanta, I don't totally remember what happened to Bogdanovich. Don't know. We know Hunter's out. Hamstring tightness questionable on Herter. I wouldn't be surprised if Kevin Herter didn't play, but it's nothing we can do right now. So I think we just have to treat Boston and Atlanta like it's their normal stuff. And assuming Kevin Herter continues to start. All right, so if that's the case, well, I don't really like the fact that Kevin Herter will pop as a value play in that. But what else can we do? This is going to be the same rotation as well. I don't know what else to change. I have Gorgie Jang in the rotation today. He hasn't been, so I'm going to remove those 9 minutes and give them to Solomon Hill instead. And then we're going to split John Collins' minutes more to the 5. Is John Collins playing more? 31 feels right. Competitive, we're going to say 32. Because I think they go small against Boston. All right, Boston, Atlanta, done. Don't know what we're going to be doing here. So let's look at the Celtics. Okay, Jason Tatum is 9,300 on FanDuel. That looks like a really nice price. Dennis Schroeder, 6,200 on FanDuel. Those are the two best plays. For sure. Robert Williams. I don't know what to do to Robert Williams' projection for me to not get him as like a slightly north of 1 fantasy point per minute guy. Unless it's just bring down his usage rate just ever so slightly. Like Robert Williams this season, 12.3, 2.2, 6.9, 8.2. Like I'm not, I guess slightly lower assist rate. And then, I mean, the usage rate is call it 12.5. There we go. So we nerfed him a little bit. Still have him as a 1.11 fantasy point per minute guy. I think that's reasonable. Okay, so Cantor, that's a great point. Why nerf his projection? I should talk through it. So heading into this season, or basically at this point, 1.2 fantasy points per minute is where I had Robert Williams. It's definitely lower now next to Horford. He's been a fantasy point per minute guy. I think that underrepresents him, and I'm basically splitting the difference now, and I feel okay with that. Because the usage rate is down a little bit. He's definitely getting as many less assists as Robert Williams can actually get. I think that makes some sense. Because I'm still going to get him, but he was becoming like problematic. At 6,200, he looks a little bit better on DraftKings. For Atlanta, Clint Capella on FanDuel at 7K or 7,200 on DraftKings is probably the best option. But again, we're going to name a lot of centers, and I think that really complicates matters. 9,700 for Trey on DraftKings looks good. He just fits that scoring system better. 4K for Kevin Huerter if he is in. Shooting guard, small forward will work. There's more here than I was expecting. I'm going to pop game number 3 back into my table. Yeah, so Tatum passed LaMelo. If you're asking me, would I rather go to Tatum or LaMelo today? It looks like Tatum. Similar price tags. Cade at the top on DraftKings. All right, we shall keep it moving. Cleveland at Brooklyn. I assume we're about to uncover a lot of value, so buckle up here. We know no Evan Mobley, out indefinitely, a couple weeks potentially, dislocated elbow or injured elbow or shoulder or something like that. And then we know no Jared Allen. Kevin Love allegedly back. So no Collins. Of their starting 5, no Colin Sexton, no Lauri Markkanen, no Evan Mobley, no Jarrett Allen, no Lamar Stevens. Kevin Love back. Can't imagine he plays a ton. Also, don't know what else they're going to do. So, even with Mobley, they went to a 9-man rotation, and they went Taco before Ed Davis. I don't know if that's going to be a long-term decision, but we'll see. So let's start here. We saw Chetty play 31, but he came off the bench. I assume that happens again. So I can't go to monster minutes yet, but we'll see if I just have that many left over that I don't have a choice. So let's say, I mean, Kevin Love is going to need to play. I'm going to say 22 minutes, and that's not going to make him all that interesting. Rubio played 37 minutes on Monday. I have to go to more minutes there. So let's bump that up to same. Garland's going to sit at 34 as well. I don't want to overload anybody until we know how many minutes we actually have. Actually, I'm going to cut everything else out of here and figure it out from there. So Rubio in for 34, Darius Garland in for 34. Because we also need to think about if this game's competitive too. I can't just go to 36s across the board until we know we don't have any left. So if Kevin Love plays 22 minutes at center, who else is going to play center? They're not going to give... Taco can't play that many minutes. But I don't know what else they do. I mean, I guess against Brooklyn, you're uniquely set up to not have to care as much. I guess it's going to have to be Dean Wade. I mean, Dean Wade is 6'9". I guess that'll have to work. So let's give Taco, let's just say like 2 6-minute rotations. That seems reasonable. Dean Wade in for 14. And let's say 34 is the ceiling for any one person now. And then once we're done, we'll figure out what we can add. So Dean Wade in for 34. We've got Rubio in. We've got Garland in. Isaac Okoro, 32 at a minimum. Chetty, I think now is 30 at a minimum. And I'm going to assume that that's mostly at the 4. So Rubio, Garland, Okoro. Chetty might start. They might go Rubio, Okoro, Garland, Chetty, Wade, or Love. Depends on if they start Love or not. All right. Denzel Valentine is playing, we'll say 22 minutes. That gets me to 8. Dylan Windler can play 20 minutes. So if I do that, that's every minute 9-man rotation. I'd rather go to 30 on Chetty at least. So maybe something like that. And if Chetty ends up getting named a starter, we bump him up even further. That's about as good as it's going to be here. From a usage perspective, I'm going to let it play out as it does. Although I believe I need to bump at least Ricky Rubio individually. I think the main guy I want to take off the floor here is Sexton. Yeah, Mark, that's an understatement. Yeah, Rubio, 27% usage rate in 296 minutes without Colin Sexton on the floor. I don't feel like I need to take off Mobley or Jared Allen because they're not big usage hogs. So I'm going to say that Rubio's usage goes to at least 24 for this spot. Honestly, maybe 25 feels a bit more correct. I do want to bring the assist rate down a little bit. Less talent means less assisted buckets. Isaac Okoro's rates look fine there. Chetty's at 21. That seems fine. So I don't think that I need to change anything else. So Cleveland is in, and Dean Wade is popping like crazy. His usage rate, on the other hand, though, probably needs to be a little bit lower. So I'm going to put him in at just 12, so it's not craziness. Cleveland done. On to Brooklyn. Obviously, Brooklyn played yesterday. Didn't go well for them against Golden State. Still no Joe Harris, who's going to be out for a little bit. Obviously, no Kyrie. No Millsap as well. I don't have Brooklyn's updated minutes because Basketball Reference didn't have their leaders page updated yet this morning. We beat it. which is always fun to see. Oh my God, Javon Carter ended up playing 21 and a half minutes, and he was bageling for most of that. Ugh. Oh, that's Sunday's game. Whew. I was like, good God. Darius Mills. Yeah, I have heard of NBA Stuffer. Not a site that I go to. Don't know too much about it. So I assume Aldridge is going to play more than just the second half today. This is going to be basically the same rotation, right? Like, what did we actually get yesterday in the blowout? How does Brooklyn score 99 points? So Patty Mills... I mean, Patty Mills was going to play monster minutes. I'm going heavier on Patty Mills' minutes here. I mean, he was... If this game's competitive, Patty Mills is playing 36 minutes. So I'm going up to 34. I'm actually going to cut this entire rotation because I think it'll be easier to get an idea of where they were going here based on yesterday. Aldridge back in for 22. I don't have any changes to make there. Blake didn't play in the fourth quarter, but played 22 and a half minutes. You have to assume that he plays like 26. I think that's reasonable. James Harden, clearly the backup point guard. And then another 22. Clearly KD is in for 36 minutes. Although, you know, blowout city here. Bruce Brown played 27 minutes. Would have played a little bit more, so I think taking him into 30 makes some sense. DeAndre Bembry got a lot of closing run. I think he would have played, so he played 3 minutes and 9, so that's 12. Got that little bit with Patty Mills. So maybe 24 for DeAndre Bembry. That leaves me 32 minutes for Javon Carter, James Johnson, if anybody else plays. Javon Carter, I don't know, 12, 14 minutes, something like that. Actually, well, played 8, so we'll go 16. And then we'll give James Johnson those others. Well, 16 doesn't feel right, but let's do that. We'll do this. That makes more sense. So there we go. We're in for 240 now. Some things to like even giving Patty Mills 34 minutes. I don't even think he's like a crazy good play on FanDuel, at least. Cleveland. Ricky Rubio, 6,600 on FanDuel, 6,500 on DraftKings. Yes. Dean Wade, 3,600 on FanDuel, 3,200 on DraftKings. He's going to be one of the most popular plays today. Chetty for 4K on DraftKings will be pretty popular. I like both of those spots. So Rubio, Wade, and Chetty. Nothing wrong with Garland or Okoro. Those 5 guys all look pretty good. For Brooklyn, it's Harden and Durant. They look better on FanDuel than they do on DK. And then Patty Mills is still 3,500 on DraftKings. Really nice value option. So we'll add those games. Yeah, Dean Wade, very clearly the top option you're going to find on DraftKings today. At least from a value perspective. Same with Patty Mills and Cade. Dean Wade, top of the heap on both. We'll see what that ownership ends up looking like. Let's move it on to Pelicans and Heat. For New Orleans, I think they're fine. I think this is just sort of business as usual. Yeah, just Zion out. For Miami, Q tag on Butler, Adebayo, Dedmon, no more Keith Morris. That'll be fun. Nothing bad going to come out of projecting that one. So, New Orleans Pelicans. Same 10-man rotation, past 2 games. So not much we need to change here. 33 minutes for Joval, yes. Jackson Hayes, straight backup, yes. We're going to have to bump Josh Hart's minutes. Nickeil Alexander-Walker in for 30. Okay. BI, I got in for 34. That's going to happen sooner rather than later. 32 for Devontae Graham, sure. Trey Murphy in for 10. Satoransky in for 13. Herb Jones, 25. We'll do that. So I think 32 for Josh Hart makes some sense. At least 32, honestly. I think we're good here then. Unless we think Satoransky, maybe something like this. Yeah, we're good on New Orleans. It's going to be a Joval Josh Hart day. Oh, Miami. What do we do here? I guess we just assume everybody plays for Miami, right? We assume Butler in. We assume Bam in. We start over. Has to be. How else would we do it? So Kyle Lowry. Been playing 35 minutes a game. Italian Mamba. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It was a fun time. We'll go 34 to Bam, 14 to Dedmon. Tucker in for 28. Actually, 29. Good. Hero those 13 minutes plus 18. Take him to 31. Maybe 19. Take him to 32. Duncan in for 31. Jimmy in for 34. Max Strus backup 4 run. And then we just have 12 minutes left over for who? Oh, Caleb Martin. Yeah, I think that's okay. I don't have much else I want to change here. We have no idea what this team's going to look like. I still have in Hero, Butler, and Bam's rates, so I don't even have anything that I want to change there. So I think we're good on New Orleans and Miami. 200 viewers. I love it. I love it. All right. On the Pelicans side, not a ton jumping off the page. No double-digit booms. Joval, Josh Hart, as I mentioned, they're the first two guys that I'm going to be looking at. Joval down to 8,800 on FanDuel, 9,500 on DraftKings. There's not a lot here. Miami. Bam Adebayo for 8,400 on FanDuel and 8,200 on DraftKings. He's one of the new guys I want to get to a lot. Maybe I have him overprojected, but he's been incredible this season. Like, Bam Adebayo, 27% usage rate. I mean, maybe I'll cut the assist rate a bit. Rebounds are same as usual. Usage rate is up. Maybe I'll nerf that a little bit, but either way, Bam's looking like one of the best plays here. Jimmy Butler, 9,700, 9,400 seems fine. You're probably not going to much else from Miami. So, like, what happens when we add in this game? Where does Bam Adebayo really land? And that answer is basically as good as Dean Wade. I like that. I like that a lot. Going to be getting to a lot of Bam. Bam, Jason Tatum, LaMelo Ball. That trio is going to be pretty popular for me right now. And we are at the midway point. 5 games done, so we're starting up game number 6. This is going to be the Lakers, 8-point underdogs in Milwaukee. What do we know about both sides of this one? So for the Lakers, still no LeBron, but it's looking like he might be back on Friday. Still no Ariza, no Nunn, no Reeves. So this should be pretty easy, right? This is going to be just like standard Lakers rotation. They dusted off some DeAndre Jordan the last time out. I don't think that matters. Kent Bazemore also saw the floor again after DNPing. But, you know, that's what happens when you lose by 18. DeAndre Jordan played nothing but blowout run. They gave Kent Bazemore some run late in the third quarter, but that wasn't like a natural rotation piece. So I'm going to assume those guys aren't back in the rotation. 34 minutes for AD. I gotta do that. 35 minutes for Russ, assuming it's close. Like, I don't really know what else I change here. I got Taylor Horton Tucker in for 28. I mean, I guess that should probably be 30. And that makes it like a 3-man band you want to try to get to. A little bit of Melo and then nobody else of value. That seems like the Lakers. Milwaukee. I don't know their status right now. Chris Middleton, probable. Welcome back. Still no Brook Lopez, still no Dante DiVincenzo. Everything else is fine. So getting Middleton back is awesome. Middleton has been out for 8 straight games. So we're going to see Bobby Portis at 30 minutes. Giannis at the backup 5. Plus another 16. We're going to see Drew Holiday play his 34. George Hill is back. I assume his minutes sort of stay the same. Let's put him at 20. Semi has just been playing a ton. I think that probably continues. We'll do 22 for Semi. I'm going to say they take it kind of easy on Middleton. I'm going to give him 30 minutes. Probably not playable today. Not sure. Appreciate that. We're going to say Wara plays like 18 maybe. And then we need to get minutes in for Grayson Allen, who's been playing about 30 minutes a game, but was playing 30 minutes a game even without Middleton. And does that leave me 22 for Pat Connaughton? Does that seem right? No, that's a little light on Connaughton. Who needs to lose those minutes? Probably a bit of Semi then. I'll take Semi to 16. 14 and 16. Perfect. Perfect-ish. Chris Middleton's just going to have a 26% usage rate. Drew Holiday's going to have a 23% usage rate. Grayson Allen's just not. Giannis seems fine there. Well, what's Giannis's usage rate? I don't want to just immediately get too much Giannis. On the season, 34.8. Obviously, that's without Middleton for a decent chunk. So I'm just going to assume that he's like his normal self. Assist rate goes back down. Rebounding rate goes back up. That looks a little bit better. Giannis and Drew are basically the only guys we're playing here. So let's look at the Lakers. Russ, AD, both sites. Russ for 9,700 on FanDuel is going to be a guy that I just continue to get to. Same situation for AD across both sites. Playing Russ at 11K on DraftKings seems so difficult. 4,800 for Taylor Horton Tucker on DraftKings, so that price is finally up. Still looks like a good value, though. Milwaukee. Giannis, 11.4 on FanDuel is actually a pretty good price. 12.5 on DraftKings. That'll be interesting for someone that's a 1.65 fantasy point per minute guy. Drew Holiday, 7,300 on DK. I think that's a pretty reasonable price tag for Drew. Is his assist rate down? No. Nothing's down. So, I like Drew. I don't mind what I'm seeing here. Giannis is going to be wild at that price tag on DraftKings. He's getting priced up big time. So Giannis is still my number one guy on FanDuel. I prefer him slightly to AD in terms of pay-up options. It's definitely Giannis, AD, and then Durant and Harden well below. We have 5 games to go. Or oh my God, Orlando and New York. Magic 11.5 point underdogs, 208 total in New York. This is not going to be a fun game to look at. Q tag on Jalen Suggs, Isaac Fultz, everybody else still out as usual for the Knicks. Everybody is in except for Nerlens Noel, so that makes things easy. I think we assume that Suggs plays, which is a real treat. I didn't know Michael Mulder was on the Magic. That's interesting. 29 minutes for Mo Bamba, 30 minutes for Wendell Carter Jr. I think that I probably need to go a little bit more than that. So let's go to 31. Oh, I'm going to get a lot of Wendell Carter Jr. I'm okay with that, though. So whose minutes do I got to nerf? But Gary Harris for sure. Let's just cut everybody else out here. Backup point guard, we'll say, is Suggs. So 14 for Suggs. And then another 11. That puts him at 25. We get RJ Hampton in for 19. We give Terrence Ross something like 25. Need to fix the audio. Ken, what's wrong with my audio? I got a sneaky suspicion that this is you and not me. Just refresh the stream. Ooh, okay. Not just you. Also Jerry Sink full of dishes. Everybody, if you have any audio issues or anything like that, refresh the stream first. That usually fixes whatever's going on. All right, who else do we need here? Franz Wagner, Chumo Okiki, Gary Harris. So Okiki gets 20. Franz Wagner gets 31? 32? We'll go 32. That seems about right. So the only person we're missing now is Gary Harris in for those 21, and then 4 little spillover minutes to Mo Wagner. Got it. Orlando in. Definitely have to make some adjustments to rates because we bumped up Cole Anthony when Suggs was ruled out. I still have Suggs in for his normal usage rate, which is fine. Mo Bamba, that's fine. Terrence Ross, 18%. That's, well, I think it'll go up eventually, so we'll go 18.5. Wendell Carter Jr. looks fine. Cole Anthony, 27.5. We're just going to take that down to 26. That should solve everything. Franz Wagner looking good. Cole Anthony looking really good. Wendell Carter Jr. looking really good. I think we're in. So that's Orlando against, in a terrible matchup against the Knicks. We now head to the Knicks. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, I don't know what that refresh does, because like it's obviously nothing that I can control. But we've seen it now 2 or 3 times. And officially, we've been live for an hour. If you've been here for any amount of time and you haven't hit that like button yet, please feel free to do so. On the Knicks side, this one's pretty easy. It's Mitchell Robinson and Taj Gibson splitting center minutes. It's Derrick Rose and Kemba Walker splitting point guard minutes. It's just Julius Randle being Julius Randle, not playing nearly as much as he did last year. RJ Barrett not playing nearly as much as he did. Let's cut those minutes. Give those to Quickly. I'm going to go 35 for Randle, 13 for Toppin. Jalen Harden, man, I feel the same way. I've been doing this show with my eyes half closed. Alec Burks got hot this last time out. I think everything else here is fine. Fournier's minutes have been kind of weird, but I don't think it matters on a day like today. The only guys we're going to be really looking at are RJ Barrett and Julius Randle. So for the Orlando side of this game, Wendell Carter Jr., 6,200 on FanDuel, power forward, center eligible, like it. Not really any major priorities on the opposite side. Franz Wagner, 4,500 on DK works. On the Knicks, Julius Randle, 8,600 on FanDuel. I like that price. He should smash the Magic. 5,500 for Barrett on DK, point guard, small forward, not the worst. So we add it back in. Now in game 7, nothing too crazy going on. Value is, we have enough of it, it seems. 4 games to go. Sacramento and Minnesota. Okay, this has to be a big time game from a fantasy perspective. If anybody's out, even better. On the Sacramento side, everybody's in. On the Minnesota side, Q tag on Naz Reid, Q tag on Josh Okogie. So we'll start with Sacramento. And we saw Mo Harkless now be fully out of the rotation. They went to Bagley. Now, that game was a little weird in that Detroit has been kicking the tires on Bagley, and I feel like they played him for that reason. I don't get the sense that that's going to be a long-term thing. This is not the right game. I need Sacramento. And they did smack Detroit. So, but Bagley got a legitimate first half rotation. I just don't know if that's because they want to trade him. It just might be. But for now, Mo Harkless has been removed from this rotation. We got 35 minutes for De'Aaron Fox. Yes. We've got 33 minutes for Tyrese Halliburton. Honestly, it should probably be more. Terrence Davis was back out of the rotation again. Let's take his minutes away. Looks like Tristan Thompson has played back-to-back games. They didn't go to Len. I'm just going to say that it's Len for today. Rashawn Holmes, 28 minutes. I think that should probably be higher. Let's go to 29. Still got Harrison Barnes in for 36. That should probably be 35. Chimezie Metu played 24 minutes and then 31. He's starting. I think 28 has to be the mark. We've got Buddy Hield in for 30. Might be a tad high. Davion Mitchell in for 25. Probably is high. Let's go to 23 here on Mitchell. That leaves me 12 minutes left over. I'm going to give that time to Bagley for today at the 4. Bump Metu down. So that's going to be 28 minutes there. And then I need to just move 9 over. So we're talking 33. Should Halliburton be 34? It probably should, right? So I need 4 minutes here. It's one too many somewhere. Congratulations, Bagley. You're losing another one. Done. Yep. Looks like we're going to be jamming Chimezie Metu in today. That seems like nothing can go wrong. Although I do feel like I need to change these Sacramento guys' usage rates a little bit. I'm going to take everything out of here for right now. So Metu has been a 20% usage rate guy so far this season. He's usually 20. I think that's going to cause some pretty big swings. So let's start with Fox. Usage rate is down a bit again. 28.5 works. Buddy Hield is at 24% for the season. I do think that's real. Harrison Barnes is at 21%. I think that's real. That brings De'Aaron Fox down to 27. It's starting to really nerf Metu as well. I don't think that matters. I definitely want Fox in for something proper. Halliburton looks fine where he is. Holmes looks fine-ish where he is. I cannot assume Bagley goes crazy. Do they have anybody that doesn't get usage? It feels like the answer is no. They don't have any like total usage sinks. So I'm going to call this where we're at right now, which means that Chimezie Metu has a broken price on FanDuel, and we're about to find out what's going crazy. Yeah, Mark, you're not even in the ballpark. Sacramento can't trade Marvin Bagley for anything, let alone Ben Simmons. That is the gap in value between those two things is pretty massive. Marvin Bagley has legitimately no value. Ben Simmons could get traded right now for multiple first-round draft picks. That's a true statement. The Sixers have no need for Marvin Bagley, nor should they want him. All right, what do we know for Minnesota? We didn't get any Naz Reid. Clearly, I have to just assume that Naz Reid is playing. Not a lot of like easy assumptions today. Cantor, I do have Daryl Morey on speed dial. That gentleman has been in my DMs. True story. So, if you need me to hit up Daryl Morey on the slide tip, I'll slip back into his DMs again. Daryl Morey does follow me on Twitter. I am awesome like that. Yeah, all right. So everybody in as per usual for Minnesota. So I don't think that we're going to be making any real changes here. I guess Taurean Prince's 8 minutes can go away. Give Jared Vanderbilt at least 2 more minutes. Do I think Simmons can fit in Houston? Yeah, of course. But, you know, they need to give something back to Philly. Daryl Morey is not trading Ben Simmons for something that makes their team worse. Just know this right now. He's not taking the bag of picks. If he wanted to do that, he'd be already gone. I think we're all right here. I mean, I guess I should probably give Towns a 36th minute, but I don't know. Beverly can probably use another minute. Malik Beasley seems fine there. Jaden McDaniels, 26, can probably become 28. Does that become a problem? No. Russell at 32, love it. Honestly, was this an overtime game? Yeah. 35. Yeah, I'm giving him another minute. 33. I mean, this is a tight rotation. They're not messing around. That looks fine. Yeah. Darius, the amount that the Sixers would have to send in addition for Jaylen Brown would be staggering. You would never trade Simmons for Brown. That's a bad fit. Sacramento Kings. De'Aaron Fox, 7,900 on FanDuel. Yes. 8,300 on DraftKings. Yes. Tyrese Halliburton, 5,900 on DraftKings. Yes. But the most important piece here, Chimezie Metu, 3,800 on DK as a power forward. Amazing. 4,100 as just a center. Not quite, but outstanding play. That eligibility really screws up things on FanDuel. Minnesota side. Edwards, Towns, Russell all look great on FanDuel and great on DraftKings. Towns a little expensive on DK, but still looks good. Jaden McDaniels, 3,100 on DraftKings. If they're going to run this super condensed rotation, it's fine. But a lot to like in Minnesota, Sacramento. Like a lot. Yeah, Fox is now my number 2. on FanDuel. Metu number 3. This is just by boom, but this will be pretty close to the power rankings as we run it. They just look really good. Really, really good. This is going to be the game that's probably most popular, at least of what we've seen so far. Three games to go. Oh, God. We're doing this? We're really doing this. Can they just postpone this? The Houston Rockets are 3.5-point underdogs in Oklahoma City. First and foremost, I want to save this file. Done. This game is going to be awful because anything can happen and it would be believable. For Houston, Q-tag on Kevin Porter Jr., Eric Gordon should play. On the OKC side, Favors should also be back. This game is going to win and lose people a bunch of money, and it's going to be disgusting. On like in a really aggressive manner. I didn't know Garrison Matthews was on Houston, so kudos to him for getting in. We got to get Eric Gordon back out there, so I'm just going to take David Nwaba's minutes, give those right back to Eric Gordon. We're going to take Usman Garuba's minutes, give those to Eric Gordon. We've got 34 minutes for Christian Wood. I think that makes some sense on a day like today. But let's just go to 33 so that we don't lose our minds. We got Jayshawn Tate in for 28. That's fine. Kenyon Martin, fine. Kevin Porter at 32. It's fine in this spot. Jalen Green at 32. Fine in this spot. Daniel House for 20. Doesn't appear to be the case. That gets Eric Gordon to 26. Oh, man, this is going to be just truly, truly, truly awful. I think we're good to move forward here. Oh, my God. This game is going to break people's minds. OKC. We take Isaiah Roby's 14 minutes. We give those to Derek Favors. Aaron Wiggins played again, so that's good. We got him in the rotation. That's helpful. Ty Jerome still playing. Trey Mann still playing. I think I could take those 6 minutes and give them to Aaron Wiggins. 30 for Giddey. Yep. What is Josh Giddey's price on FanDuel today? All right, things are going to get wild in this one. 30 for Baisley, yeah. 17 for Poku, sure. 24 for Jeremiah Robinson Earl, sure. 21 for Kenrich, sure. Dort at 32, that'll work. I'm really excited to see, well, maybe not excited, but interested to see this one. All right, Christian Wood, 7,300 on FanDuel, 7,700 on DraftKings. I think he looks incredible on FanDuel. Am I over projecting him in some way? Does he have a 23.5% usage rate this season? Mm-mm. 22.5. Let's bring that down. 3 and 13 for rebounding rates. That's fine. Jalen Green's at 23%. Kevin Porter Jr.'s at 24.5. Going to be playing a lot of these fools. A lot. Houston looking good with Wood and Porter for sure. And now here's where it gets scary. OKC. Josh Giddey, 5,300 on FanDuel. Yes, please. Great price on Giddey. Shea for 7,900 on FanDuel. That looks pretty damn good as well. Just in this matchup, you can have a little bit of a coming out party. Lou Dort for 4,900 on DraftKings. Baisley for 5K. Jeremiah Robinson Earl if you need value at power forward center. There's way too much okay stuff in this matchup. And For a game that starts late, hanging your hat on the two worst teams in basketball is not a fun journey. Giddey now up to 2. So Giannis, Giddey, De'Aaron Fox, Metu. We're packed in a lot at the top. 2 games to go, folks. Dallas and Phoenix. And the big piece here is that we are not going to have Luka Doncic tonight. And that's obviously massive. We don't get a lot of these. No Luka, no Maxey. We're going to delete this entire rotation for Dallas. We're going to take Dallas's info from this year and last year with Luka Doncic off and Maxi Kleber off. Because if I do that now, we don't get nearly enough of a bump, and we really need to get an idea of what else is here. So, Jalen Brunson very clearly going to play pretty sizable minutes as the point guard for this team and probably the lead ball handler. I'm giving Jalen Brunson 35 minutes. Spot number 1. I don't think that anything really changes for Dwight Powell. I'm going to give him 20 minutes. I don't think that anything's really going to change for Willie Cauley-Stein. I'm going to give him 8 minutes. And then Kristaps Porzingis will play the other minutes at the 5. And then we're going to get him to 34. We need backup point guard run. This seems like a spot where they bring Trey Burke back. They're gonna. I assume they'll want his creation. So I'm going to give Trey Burke the backup point guard run. We're gonna get Tim Hardaway Jr. in for 34 minutes. We're going to get Dorian Finney-Smith in for 32 minutes. We'll look at Sterling Brown for like 14, 16 maybe. And then Reggie Bullock played 29 and a half this last time out. I think 28 makes some sense. And then the 10th man in this rotation would be Frank Ntilikina. Maybe 20 minutes. That works. I don't think there's anything too crazy here. I think Reggie Bullock's minutes definitely have some wiggle room. I think Tim Hardaway probably has it. But what we need to do now is make some rate changes. Because obviously Luka's not playing. So, as we look at Dallas, this is Dallas since the beginning of last year with no Luka Doncic and no Maxey on the floor. Jalen Brunson, 22.7% usage rate. Now, it's been higher this year. I think it's okay for right now. Porzingis in this time, 28.8. I'm good. I got him at 28 right now. Tim Hardaway jumps to 28. That, I think, is an interesting piece. I'm going to take him up to like 25 and a half, maybe 26. That's going to make Hardaway look a little bit better. I want to stabilize Jalen Brunson at 23, and I want to stabilize Kristaps Porzingis at 28. Do assist rate change? Yeah, Jalen Brunson's assist rate goes up by like quite a bit. So let's take him up to 9. Jalen Brunson's going to look really good today. Really, really good. Where does the rest of this usage go? Trey Burke's going to get some. I think that's totally reasonable. Willie Cauley-Stein certainly isn't. Frank Ntilikina, what is his usage rate this year? Not high. I think this is good. I don't think we have anything else that we really want to change here. I'm comfortable with where I have Dallas. Jalen Brunson probably going to be the best play on FanDuel. Just guessing. Let's go to Phoenix. A very easy team to project so long as everyone is in. And on the Phoenix side, Q-tag on Kaminsky, and that is it. I don't think that matters at all on a day like today. I don't think he's going to play just in general. This is going to be a standard issue rotation for Phoenix other than... No, I think it's just a standard issue rotation for Phoenix. Yeah, I don't have any changes to make for Phoenix at all. This is just who they are. So Dallas. Dallas. Jalen Brunson is 6,500 on FanDuel. That is an excellent price. He is a guy that I will happily have. He's 5,700 on DraftKings. That is ludicrous. Jalen Brunson, unquestionably, number one play on DraftKings. But Kristaps Porzingis is 7,400. Play a ton. Tim Hardaway Jr., 5,200 and 5,300 across both sites. Play a ton. Those three guys look awesome today. I think you need a lot of them. I wouldn't be going any other direction. Tough spot against Phoenix, but Brunson, Porzingis, Hardaway, that's a spot you want to be. For Phoenix, we've got nothing too crazy on FanDuel. Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton both look fine. DeAndre Ayton is 6,200 on DraftKings. He's going to play 32 minutes and smash in one of the best plays of the day. No way around that one. Going to be probably at the top of the boom right now. As we look at it, yeah, Jalen Brunson's at the top of FanDuel. Tim Hardaway Jr. pretty high up there. Jalen Brunson, very, very clearly the top play on DraftKings, but DeAndre Ayton in the same game, not too far behind, plus Porzingis. So 1, 2, and 3, all from this game. Now we close it out. If you haven't hit the like button yet, please do so. 250 people in here. That's a good time. Chicago Bulls at the Portland Trailblazers. This is not a game that I want to be the late night hammer because I assume I normally have more of these teams than most, and I assume that's going to happen again. No Vooch, no Patrick Williams, Javonte Green questionable. So normal stuff for Chicago, other than the fact that I can stop projecting Alize Johnson to play, because now it appears that's not going to happen. So let's take those minutes away. We need to figure out what we're doing here with Chicago. Tony Bradley is going to play a little bit more today. That makes some sense. 24 minutes for Tony Bradley. And then probably a little bit less playing time again for Kobe White. Dosunmu stayed in the rotation. Let's pull everybody that isn't essential. So we've got Lonzo in for 35. Yes. Zach LaVine in for 36. Yes. Actually, I think they both need to be 36. I'm going to give Kobe White straight backup run. Tony Bradley for 24. Derek Jones Jr. for 18. Caruso in for 32, which honestly might even be light. Let's look at 33 there. We know DeMar is going to play 36. Who the hell else is playing the 5? 27 here, 16 here. Are they? I mean, I guess it's right there, but even here. Are they? So they're going with like DeMar at the 5? I got to look at this rotation from Sunday. I feel like this is something that I missed. So Sunday was the 14th. So we've got, let's try to look through this here. Tony Bradley is here. Comes off Derek Jones on. Then Tony Bradley comes back on, Derek Jones on. Tony Bradley on, Derek Jones on. Tony Bradley here. So they closed against the Clippers, who weren't closing big, with Javonte Green, DeMar, LaVine, Caruso, Lonzo. They went full small. They can't do that in this spot. Like, the problem here, if I remember correctly, is that the Blazers have started to mess with their rotations. Yusuf Nurkic has not closed the past 2 games at Denver or against Toronto. Those games were a 5-point win against Toronto and a blowout against Denver. So you throw the blowout in the trash. Portland against Denver closed with Larry Nance, Nas Little instead of Yusuf Nurkic. Nurkic played 18 minutes. So if the Blazers go small, I think it's certainly possible for Chicago to do so as well. I don't expect Portland to go small. But I think that they're going to be comfortable having DeMar DeRozan play like actual center minutes, which is definitely a thing. Which means to finish off this rotation, I'm going to go to Dosunmu for 20 minutes. Javonte Green for 20 minutes. And then I just have 5 minutes left over. Someone random? Troy Brown, perhaps? Sure. This is about to be like a massive. This team is a real problem. Usage rates on Chicago in this one. Yeah, let's look at this year. Oop, hitting the wrong buttons. What year is it? 2021. I meant that sincerely too. I can never remember what year it is. So let's bring down DeMar's. Oh, we got to take off Vooch. Totally forgot. So no Vooch for the Bulls. In that time, DeMar DeRozan, massive usage rate. That all looks good. Lonzo at 19%. Seems fine. Zach LaVine, 32% usage rate. Yeah, I can't change that. That looks fine. Assist rate down quite a bit as well. All right. We are going to jam aggressively the Chicago Bulls today. We'll close it out with Portland before we start running some crunches. Appreciate having everybody here. Doesn't seem like we have anything to really worry about for Portland. 90 minutes, by the way. We went the full bore. Q tag on Dame, Q tag on Norm Powell. Nothing that's actionable right now. So I don't think we're going to have really any changes here. Dame's starting to play more minutes again. The last 4 games that he's played, 39, 38, 38, and 40. Not like I needed a reason to get to more Dame. But if we're being perfectly honest, I think I need to project him for more minutes. So that takes him to 37. And I'm doing the same thing for CJ, getting him up to 37. Powell in for 30. Tony Snell plays. Cody Zeller plays. Nurk. It's a great spot for Nurk. I think 26 has to just be the number. Covington's minutes continue to fall in place of Nas Little, I guess. I think something like that works best. Clearly, I'm going back to Dame. I don't know what else to do there. So as we close it out, Chicago, look at those booms. DeRozan, 8,500 and 8,900 across both sites. He's just a power forward on DraftKings now. Craziness. At shooting guard, small forward on FanDuel, DeRozan looks great. Zach LaVine is sub 8K, looks great. Lonzo at 6K on FanDuel, 6,500, looks great. Caruso, 4,400, excellent value. Tony Bradley, pay down option. Yes. Lots to like for Chicago. On the Portland side, 8,200 for Dame. Stop me if you've heard this before. I'm playing Dame. Otherwise, CJ and maybe a little bit of Nurk if you want to get weird, but mid sixes is going to be a tough sell. He's not going to get owned at all. We done, yo. We done. Which means it is time for crunches. FanDuel up first. And again, thank you to PrizePicks for being the presenting sponsor of this video. It was a good time. You should go check out PrizePicks using the promo code Awesemo. All right, let's move that stuff around. Bada bing. Copy. First crunch. FanDuel Optimals. We've got Zach LaVine, Lonzo Ball, Jalen Brunson, Josh Giddey, Giannis, Tim Hardaway Jr., Christian Wood, Wendell Carter Jr., and Chimezie Metu. I think that all looks really reasonable. That lineup is 1.2 points ahead of my second lineup. I have nothing I would want to change here. I think it looked great. On the side of power rankings, here we go. I think, yeah, really interesting to see Dean Wade not be in my optimal, but going to be probably my number one contender, potentially. Maybe number 2 to Brunson. No, maybe number 3 to Hardaway. Maybe number 4 to Giannis. He's just tumbling now. Christopher, that might not be the best strategy in the world. Why big no on Giddey? He's cheaper than he's been. There's a guy that hangs mid-30s regularly, and they play Houston. Why draw a line through Josh Giddey? Of all people today, why draw a line through Josh Giddey? What more do you want out of this dude? All right, power rankings on FanDuel. Jalen Brunson, Dean Wade, Tim Hardaway Jr., Dame, Giannis, Lonzo, Fox, Giddey, Porzingis, D'Angelo Russell, Metu, Anthony Edwards, Kevin Porter Jr., Julius Randle. Now we move on to DraftKings. Oh boy. Dennis, I see what you just said. 200 likes on the video today out of the 257 viewers that we have. To all of you that have hit that thumbs up, I commend you. That is awesome. Love to see it. Now, let's go ahead and run optimals for DraftKings. On DraftKings, D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Edwards, Dean Wade, Metu, Bam if he plays, Jalen Brunson, Kristaps Porzingis, DeAndre Ayton. That lineup just looks absolutely loaded. Like Dean Wade for 3,200 and Metu for 3,800. These are two guys that are probably going to play 30 minutes or more, and you get them for $7K total. I love that price. And then you're just paying out like Russell and Edwards against Sacramento. Yes. Brunson and Porzingis with no Luka. Yes. Ayton's price is just full broken. If you're playing like DeAndre Ayton has to be in every cash lineup or you're a moron. That's for sure. All right, power rankings. On DK. I really don't know how DraftKings power rankings will stabilize, because this will explain a little bit about where salary really is. All righty. Yeah, Jalen Brunson looking like it's pretty simple there. After that, it's going to be value. But Jalen Brunson is the pretty clear number one contender today. I just realized that I've got bacon downstairs that I cannot wait to put in the oven. I am incredibly hungry, and that sounds like it's going to be a delectable treat. All right, power rankings just about done. Jalen Brunson at the top. DeAndre Ayton 2. Dean Wade, Anthony Edwards, D'Angelo Russell, Porzingis, Lillard, Metu, Chetty, Porter Jr., Hardaway Jr., Darius Baisley, Talen Horton-Tucker, and Josh Giddey. What a day, guys. Big 11 gamer, 2 games at 7, 5 games lock at 7:30. So the lead up to lock is going to be real crazy. You're going to need to be at the computer today. Everything starts except for 2 games by 8 o'clock. It's going to be a fun one, everybody. It really is. We're switching it back to the full screen because we are done. 250 people, 200 plus likes, 212 likes. That is insanity. What a day. What a great hump day. Bacon in the oven. Absolutely. How else would I do it? It's the only way to do it. Only way. Guys, that's it for me. Contenders video's out shortly. Adam and I will be up at, I don't know what time that show starts today. 9:45 is my assumption. Potentially 10 o'clock. I don't really know. I'm looking it up now so you guys know. Make sure you're checking out Contenders. Make sure you're checking out all of the content that we've got here today. Strategy show at 9:45. So Adam and I will be going in an hour and 45 minutes. Appreciate having you guys here. Thank you for everything that you did. Good luck. You know the drill. Win some money. We'll be back again tomorrow. 6 gamer. Going to be an awesome one. Peace.